Today we're diving into the Stone Age, a time when stone tools were the peak of human technology. You might wonder, why do we call it the Stone Age? Well, it all started in the late 19th century when a Danish scholar named Christian Thomsen introduced the three-age system. This idea grouped human history into three phases: stone, bronze, and iron. He noticed that stone tools were found in the deepest layers of archaeological sites, while bronze and iron tools were closer to the surface. This suggested that metal tools came after stone ones. Now, some experts think this system is a bit too focused on technology and doesn't apply as neatly outside Europe. But despite the criticism, it's still widely used today because it helps us understand the broad sweep of human history. The Stone Age kicked off with the first stone tools about 2.5 million years ago in Africa and ended around 3300 BCE with the dawn of the Bronze Age in the Near East. Interestingly, some evidence suggests we might push that start date back even further. Studies show that bonobos can use stone tools too, though early humans were much more skilled at making them. There's even a claim that the first stone tools might be as old as 3.4 million years. Some bones with marks found in Ethiopia hint at this, but it's still debated. Some say these marks could be from crocodiles or animal trampling instead. And Stone Age era is divided into three periods: Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. First, we have the Paleolithic, or Old Stone Age, starting around 2.5 million years ago with the earliest stone tools and stretching to the end of the last ice age, around 9600 BCE. This is the longest of the Stone Age periods, and it's marked by fossilized human remains and increasingly complex stone tools. Early on, we have the Oldowan tools, simple choppers and flakes. About 1.7 million years ago, the Acheulean industry emerged, producing more complex and symmetrical tools with sharp edges. As we move towards the end of the Paleolithic, around 40,000 years ago, we see a revolution in tool making with many different types coexisting and developing rapidly. This period also brings us the first signs of artistic expression, such as personal ornaments, cave paintings, and mobile art. Next up is the Mesolithic, or Middle Stone Age, which begins around 9600 BCE with the end of the last ice age. This period is a bit tricky to pin down because it ends at different times in different places, depending on when agriculture starts. In some regions, like Southeast Europe, agriculture began around 7000 BCE, while in Northern Europe it started much later, around 4000 BCE. In the Near East, agriculture was already underway by 9000 BCE, right after the Ice Age ended, so the Mesolithic period is almost non-existent there. During the Mesolithic, the planet underwent significant changes. As the climate warmed and ice sheets melted, some northern areas rose while sea levels rose too, submerging low-lying regions. This reshaped the world's geography. The Japanese islands separated from the Asian mainland, Tasmania from Australia, and the British Isles from continental Europe. By around 5000 BCE, the continents and islands had taken on their present-day shapes. And now we arrive at the Neolithic, or New Stone Age. This era marks a significant shift as farming begins to take root. It started around 9000 BCE in the Near East, about 7000 BCE in Southeast Europe, 6000 BCE in East Asia, and even later in other parts of the world. This is when people began cultivating cereals and domesticating animals. In the 1940s, Australian archaeologist Gordon Childe coined the term Neolithic Revolution to emphasize how transformative this period was. While once thought to be a sudden shift, we now understand it was a gradual change, reshaping human society over time. Agriculture brought major changes, including clearing forests and cultivating crops that could be stored long-term. This led to new farming technologies like plows and irrigation systems. With more food available, populations grew, leading to more villages and the development of complex social and political structures. Over time, these villages expanded into towns and eventually cities. As the Neolithic era came to a close, copper metallurgy emerged, leading us into the transition period known as the Chalcolithic or Neolithic era, paving the way for the Bronze Age. And now let's delve into the archaeological record of the Stone Age. While stone tools dominate what we find from this era, people also used organic materials like antler, bone, fiber, leather, and wood. Unfortunately, these materials don't last as long as stone, unless preserved in extreme conditions like cold or dry climates. Occasionally, items made from durable materials like copper and glass have also been found, along with rare plant, animal, and even human remains, sometimes even frozen specimens of woolly mammoths in Siberia. Clay was another crucial material, giving rise to pottery. It's versatile and widespread, which explains why pottery was independently invented in various parts of the world. The oldest pottery comes from Japan's Odai Yamamoto site, dating back 16,500 to 14,920 years ago. The Jomon people of Japan were crafting intricate clay pots by about 13,000 years ago, using them for cooking. In the early Neolithic era, around 8000 BCE, people in the Near East began building special ovens to parch grains and bake bread, allowing them to control fire and achieve higher temperatures. Initially, pottery was made in open fires, but ovens opened up new possibilities for development. Around this time, South America was also developing pottery technology. As we near the end of the Stone Age, the introduction of bronze marks a major shift. Bronze, an alloy of copper and tin, was harder and more durable than copper alone, especially useful for making weapons. This advancement gradually rendered much of the stone technology obsolete, leading us into the Bronze Age,